New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring. We invite you to join our prayer broadcast every day at 8:15 a.m. and 8:15 p.m. Mountain Time. Send us your prayer requests or schedule a private prayer session by emailing prayer@ntmedia.org. And now, it's time to pray together.
Hello, folks. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is time for morning prayer for Saturday, November 30th, 2024. My name is Muro. I'm a licensed practitioner here on the New Thought Media Network. I am honored and delighted, as always, to be able to spend this time with you in prayer. Wow, we are at the end of November, beginning of December. Wow, this year has gone just blazingly fast. Hey, Wayne, good to see you. All right, folks, so as always, if there is anything that you would like prayer for, without a doubt, please let us know. You can either put something into the chat or you can send us a prayer request here at prayer@ntmedia.org. We'd be more than happy to hold your intention. And I always check the comment section to see if there's anything before I leave that people would like prayer for. So, I haven't seen any comment, so I will go on with what I had in mind for today. My inspiration. So it came from here. So yesterday I was looking at this book, When Things Fall Apart. Heart Advice, not hard, H-A-R-D, but heart, H-E-A-R-T. Heart Advice for Difficult Times by Pema Chodron. He's a Buddhist nun and author. And this is what Pema wrote. Generally speaking, we regard discomfort in any form as bad news. But for practitioners or spiritual warriors, feelings like disappointment, embarrassment, irritation, resentment, anger, jealousy, and fear, instead of being bad news, are actually very clear moments that teach us where it is that we're holding back. I found this to be extremely powerful. I reached for this book because, there are definitely times when things feel difficult, no question. And I particularly loved the way that this was focused, the audience, if you will. Hey, good morning, Annie. For practitioners or spiritual warriors. So as far as practitioners are concerned, I'm a licensed practitioner, but each and every one of us who practices this philosophy is, by definition, a practitioner. Speaking of practitioners, hi, Lori. Good to see you. Lori's a spectacular practitioner. She's magnificent. It's just a light in this world. So each of us, regardless of how it is that we view ourselves, each of us has the ability to deal with all of this if we can see that for what they are. Okay, so give some thought. Center yourself and consider what is going on for you right now. Are you dealing with any disappointment, embarrassment, etc.? And how might you take that and rather than turning away from it, how might you find the lesson in it? Let's take this into prayer. I'll invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze, whichever is comfortable and safe for you to do. Take a deep breath to allow myself to relax into this moment, to allow myself to feel the relaxation that comes into my physical body and allowing that to transcend the physical, allowing what's within to bring out a feeling of calm, a feeling of peace. And if I find that that feeling isn't immediately clear to me, if it isn't immediately accessible, I continue my breathing. I continue my centering and my grounding, focusing on not just the inhalation, but the exhalation, which allows me to release. And this is the perfect metaphor for what it is that we do in our spiritual life. And so I know that I need to bring in that life-giving breath. And I know that I also need to expel those things which are no longer going to serve my body. So I take in oxygen. I release carbon dioxide. I take in the energy of life. And I release into the comfort of being supported. And so I recognize that there is always this give and take. There's always this bringing in and releasing. And in that typical pattern, in that pattern that is everywhere in nature, the reciprocity, the homeostasis that exists, in which nature and even our own bodies always try to find balance. I recognize that in my spiritual life, the same thing is also true. And so, just as I am willing to be open to and to accept and to embrace and to celebrate those things in life which bring me joy, so too do I recognize that there is a value and a benefit in being open to those things which are far less joyful, those things that can be frustrating, those things that can be frightening, those things that do cause me to question. But understanding that my human mind cannot grasp the totality of life, I open myself to my spiritual mind and consciousness as well. And I allow that spiritual consciousness to see what is in front of me. I allow the wisdom of the one, the brilliance of the one, all that is in consciousness to enable me to unravel things that are too dense, allowing me to find a way in rather than backing off, a way of understanding rather than rejecting, a way of being compassionate rather than feeling shame and feeling that I have somehow been inadequate. And taking all of that I use for myself, for my own life, and bringing that into the lives of others. Being able to be discerning rather than judging. Being able to be open rather than frightened. Being willing to understand rather than forcing someone else to understand me. Being able to recognize that there is always an opportunity in each and everything that comes my way to learn something. I cannot live a fulfilling life by pushing those things away that I do not want. Because life is filled with ups and downs and give and take. I want to accept all of life. I want to understand how to utilize all aspects of what come to me, because it is all part of this experience. I get to choose certain aspects of my experience. Others, I get to choose how I will react to them. But ultimately, I get to choose how I view my life. I get to choose how I will act and interact with life. I get to choose how much of life I am willing to enjoy, how much of life I am willing to embrace, how much of life I am willing to accept, and see how I can bring about the greatest possibility for myself and for others. I see this not as a challenge, not as a task, but as an opportunity and a loving invitation. A loving invitation to be the light that shines in this world, to be a place where the love of the one is expressed beautifully, joyously. And so in that knowledge, I am comforted. In that knowledge, I am joyful. In that knowledge, I am thankful. And so I can release this word to the law which always says yes. And so it is. I've said it many times, folks. Prayer is powerful. Take this down. Okay. And Garrett is powerful. Let's see what he has to say here. It says, thank you, Lord, for clear moments in our lives, teaching us not to hold back. Instead, to acknowledge the law, to guide us through the processes or moments we're facing faithfully. And so it is. Well said, as always. And so it is, Annie. Oh, thank you. Most welcome. All right. Thank you, Lori. Blessings to all indeed. All right, folks. So I am way over my time. One of these days, somebody's going to yell at me, say, hey, come on, what you doing? All right, so that's not true. Nobody's going to yell at me if I go over. I want you to understand that I love being able to pray with you. And I so greatly appreciate the time and the energy and the love that is so clear. So thank you so very, very much. And I know without a doubt that you are loved. And you are most certainly, absolutely love itself. I'll see you soon.
On behalf of everyone at New Thought Media Network, thank you for being a member of our virtual family. Your financial contributions help share the New Thought message with people from around the world. Please visit and contribute at www.ntmedia.org/donate. New Thought Media Network, come be you. And please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace and blessings.